Dear students, welcome to the another video of Edwins. Today we will discuss about the Darwinism. What is Darwinism? Darwinism is the theory of what? Of natural selection, which was proposed by the scientist Charles Darwin. Okay, this scientist proposed this theory that is known as Darwinism. This is also known as the natural selection theory. Okay, so what about the history about the natural selection, or the proposed theory of the Darwin? Darwin was very enthusiastic to explore different regions, fauna and flora. Fauna, fauna means the animals, kinds of animals, and flora, that is plants. Okay, he visited many places to explore the flora and fauna. In one word, the biodiversity of different regions. Once he visited the Andaman Nicobar Island, the more specific island, that is Galapagos Island, where he found that there have the finches. Those finches have common characters with the land finches, the animals, that is finch. Okay, but beside the characters, similar character with the land finches, these finches in this island have 13 species. In this small island, there have 13 types of finch species. By this, he was very curious about these things. Okay, another two scientist books also influenced him. What are they? Number one, The Principle of Geology by Charles Lyell. And another one, that is an essay on population by T.R. Malthus. These two books also influenced him to explore the reason behind this speciation. Okay, after evaluate all these reasons, he conclude with this theory, that is the Darwinism or the natural selection theory. And this theory he have bind up with a book which is called The Origin of Species. Okay, so this could be made a short question, that is the name of the book that Darwin proposed the theory of natural selection. The natural selection theory can be described by these following points. So let's go for one by one. Natural selection theory, that is first one, that is the prodigality of reproduction. What is this? We know that any organism reproduce with a geometrical progression. Okay, what is this? Go for an example. A salmon fish lays, of course female, lays about 28 million eggs at a time. Okay, so not all these eggs hatched and give the offsprings. Okay, in case of elephant, their reproductive duration is very slow, or reproductive rate is very slow. Okay, but they produce the offsprings that is somehow an elephant can live 100 years. If it lay 100 offsprings in its lifespan, then after an era, the whole world get with only elephant species. But this is never happening. Why? Because when the offsprings are produced, they get died or get extinct with some natural causes or any other disaster, that is any anthropogenic activity like human. Okay, so this is the rate of reproduction controlled by the nature. Next one is the consistency of food and shelter. We know that they have limited source of food. If this is a ecosystem, somehow this is a pond. Okay, this is a pond. Here have the limited food sources in the water. If I introduce many fishes here, what will be happen? There will be an struggle. What struggle? Two types of struggle we can find here. One is intraspecific and another one is interspecific. Okay, what is intraspecific? Intraspecific, the struggle between same species, like rohu fish fight with the rohu fish for the shelter or the food. Okay, and interspecific between two different species, that is rohu fish with some katla. Okay, so this is known as intra and interspecific struggle. Another one, that is environmental struggle. What is this? Like in changing environment, which fishes I have introduced here, in the changing environment, some of them could not survive in this changing pH or the turbidity or any other environmental factors. So these are the three types of struggles we can found. The next point have been denoted by this, that is the struggle for existence. For existing in an ecosystem, they have to struggle in many ways. Most common of them are the intraspecific, interspecific and the environmental struggle. Then the variation. we know in the sexually reproductive organism have shows the variations. How? We know in the time of meiosis cell division, the recombination of the genes occurs. That's why the variation we received. This variation may be helpful or may be against for the existence. So this variation not always helpful to sustain or for existence of any species. Next, the survival of the fittest. Of course, by this struggling, the species which can survive in the changing environment by struggling with the same species and different species, who will survive, the denoted as the fittest species or fittest organism in the environment. Okay, by these all these theories we can conclude that is the Darwinism with natural selection. Natural selection means that nature select them to survive because they have passed all these struggles. Okay, and of course the last one, that is the origin of new species. How? In the changing environment, to survive them, the variation occurs. These variations came to go for a new organism or new species. Like example, that is giraffe. We know in many years ago, giraffe have the short neck. But in the time of scarcity of food, they try to collect their food from the long branches. By this struggle, their neck get elongated and they can get reach the top part of the plant to collect their food. So the species of the giraffe with short neck, they can extinct and the long neck giraffe will survive. Okay, so this is about the origin of new species. Okay, so this is about the Darwinism and its natural selection theory and the origin of new species. Okay, so that's all for the today's video. If you have any doubts, you may ask in our comment section. We will discuss it in our next video. And if you like to get more such informative video, you may subscribe our YouTube channel Edwins and also follow, comment and share our Facebook page Edwins. Thank you.
Edwins, learn, grow, succeed.